Rolling.
I'm Cynthia Taylor, and I had a journey of work and solidarity with Julia Eisenberg and Marika Hughes and Semezden Mehmedinovic, even though he was not present. We were driving down the coast of Croatia, the Illyrian coast, the Dalmatian coast, if you will, when Julia was giving us the update that our poet in Montenegro, Podgorica, Montenegro, his father was involved as a great writer and wrote this big article on the mafia in Montenegro. Having just separated from Serbia, this was big news, very fresh. But the mob hunted him down, and they killed his bodyguard and broke his leg. When Julia told me and Marika in the car while we were thoroughly enjoying the drive down the Dalmatian coast, looking at all the little islands, anticipating Montenegro, we said we didn't want to go. We're like, that's just too dangerous. No. She called us a bunch of pussies. We had an argument. It was la, 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 la. We came to an agreement that if we got into Podgorica and were not comfortable and felt a mob presence, we could stop and not do the gig. So with this agreement, we crossed the border into Montenegro. We passed all the cypress trees that you see in California that do not belong, but in their natural habitat. And then we had to wait. And the girls asked, Cynthia, why are we waiting? I said, well, look ahead. There's someone ahead of us in the turnstile. And there was this cow. Is that the pause?
Okay.
So as we came into the border crossing, heading east into Montenegro from Croatia, from Dubrovnik, if you will, we had to wait behind a cow right here. The cow was in the turnstiles ahead of us with bell and everything. Ding, 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 ding. We laughed and laughed. We all had our cameras out the window door. We were all taking pictures of this cow. And as we pulled up right here into the turnstiles, the border patrol man was saying, no pictures. But of course, none of this in English. We all said we were racing. We pretended to delete. We did not delete. And then we took off. And the moment we crossed over into the border, it was this feeling of martial law, of it just looked not abandoned, but it just didn't look safe. It was an incredible feeling of, oh dear, came upon all of us. And we headed right up in here and we decided we'd have some coffee and shake it up a little bit. You know, we wanted to feel, all right, we're good, we're here, we're on our way to Podgorica, we're singers, we're on a Rockefeller grant, for goodness sakes. We had ourselves some espresso and everybody was staring at us from all angles. Parked the car while we drank our coffee, and we just got this feeling like, let's just get out of here. So let's just get to Podgorica. So we headed back out. We're like, this is feeling funky. And so then Julia gave me the choice. Do we want to go around the fjord of Kotor, the Bay of Kotor, or do we want to take a boat across it? And I said, let's go around it. Of course, after getting a full description of what a fjord was, because we were very unfamiliar. So let's pretend this is the fjord. It's actually enormous with like half domes right into it. It's unbelievable. We came around this corner and it just opened up to us, and it's where all the pirate ships came in from Dubrovnik to rob everybody. It was just so, you could feel it. You could feel the revolution, the lawlessness. It was crazy. We didn't see anybody for so long. And we drove along this, and we just loved it. Pomegranates hanging off the trees. Monasteries everywhere. I don't know how they procreate in Montenegro, because there's monasteries everywhere, and stunning. The mosaics, just beautiful. And so we went all around the edge of the fjord. It's, like 4 hours. It was wonderful. There was 2 little islands. One was man-made because they thought they saw, the guys in the ships the seamen, thought they saw Mary, the Mother Mary's face in the rocks in the bed of the fjord, and so they started piling rocks on it for good measure, for good luck, for blessings and prayers, until they built an actual little island, and then they put a monastery on it. So there were 2 monasteries right in the middle that we got all this incredible view of as we went around it. We did not go up all the little roads to the monasteries, but as we came around to the edge, right up here, before we started to ascend up into what we learned were the Black Mountains, thus Montenegro, we came across Kotor. This is where I will have a honeymoon someday. This is absolutely stunning. drove up onto the sidewalk. It was so unbelievable because just like Lord of the Rings with the castles embedded up into the walls, it was just like with these walls, it zigzagged all the way up, and all the lights went on at the same time, and you could see the massiveness of this expansion up into the hills. It was so amazing. Architectural wonder, ancient history, absolutely mesmerizing. I drove up on the curb, as I said. It was sidewalk. It was my best driving moment. We got back on the road because we knew we had a long way to go. And then we began to climb. And it was the Z, up and up and up into the Black Mountains. And the sun was going down, and it was getting very dark. And the girls took a little nap, and we got higher and higher. And then I started noticing we could only see on the very edge of the street, all we could see is a very tip of a huge tree. It was so steep. It was like just sheer down, and a lot of giggling on how scary it was. No road railings or anything. No yellow dots. No bot dots. We started all sorts of nonprofit mission statements. We had reflecting jackets for Bosnians.
Pedestrian safety for Bosnians.
Pedestrian safety for Bosnians, yes. We also had bot dots for Bosnians. We would have liked some railings in Montenegro. Croatia had all that, but, Croatia is the sea. All right, so we got up to the very, very top, and there was an abandoned monastery way up in here, and we took our regular side of the car, P brake. And then at this point it's dark, and we are heading still, and we still have a pretty long way to go. Our directions were not reliable. Leave it at that. And as we're driving, we're very quiet, and then all of a sudden there's just, right along here, there is a red light, literally just lying in the street. Boom, red light. Nothing else, just one big red light lying in the middle of the street. And I stopped, and the girls kind of perked up and like, "Why are we stopping, Sin?" And I said, there's a red light in the middle of the street. You won't believe this." And they look at it, and we all look at it, and it's pitch black. There's nothing around us. I mean, there's nothing except trees, and we're way up. You can feel the elevation in your lungs. It's just lying there, a red light. And the girls are saying, "We should go." And I said, "I don't know. I mean, there's a red light. Why would we go? I think we should wait. How long are we going to wait? I don't know." We waited a good 5-10 minutes debating that why we should go or not. We could also see a little further up ahead in the street that there was no cement. You could kind of see it peter out. And we were like, is this the right way? We went through all of our directions, reviewed the map. We were, at this point, arguing about going through the red light lying in the middle of the street. And then all of a sudden you could see lights coming. And then car after car started to come around the corner. We started screaming. We're like, "Hey, we waited, and now we don't have to back up this street." We were so proud of ourselves. Everybody passed, and then the light went off. It's unbelievable. So we started to drive. But within moments, we just went ka-chunk off the cement, one-lane road, hugged up against the mountain, and then we... as we're driving along, and there's huge equipment up on the sides, huge equipment, and they're obviously rebuilding the road. Mudslide, I don't know. Huge boulders in the road. We were driving in our little Ford, driving around these boulders. We were screaming. It was over 20 minutes of off-roading in Montenegro in pitch black with vocalists with full lungs. Oh my God! It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was unbelievable. And we made it through it, and we were so proud of ourselves. And as we ended up back on cement, we could see lit up down in the valley on our way to Podgorica, we could see these beautiful, beautiful water. Lord have mercy, I can't think of what they're called. The archways, the ancient Roman aqueducts with the lights. Oh my. And then we knew we'd made it to Podgorica. Well, the next morning, after we found our Cuban hotel, they told us that we wouldn't have made it if we came today because the pass that we drove over snowed in. So all I could say is, we're not the Donner Party, and we did not get hypothermia, and we made it to Podgorica. In fact, right now, I wish I was in Podgorica. Because Charming Hostess, we knew how to keep it Negro in Montenegro, man.